Detective William Carter stared at the crime scene photos spread across his desk. His eyes were red from lack of sleep, and his third coffee of the morning was already cold. 3 high-profile thefts in the past month, each one more impossible than the last. No fingerprints, no DNA, no witnesses, nothing on security cameras. It was as if the thief was a ghost. Still nothing? Officer Lisa Franklin asked as she walked into the small office they shared. William shook his head. I've gone over everything a dozen times. Whatever we're missing, it's not in these files. Lisa sat down at her desk across from him. The chief wants an update by noon. The mayor's office is calling twice a day now. Tell me something I don't know, William muttered. Running a hand through his short brown hair, the phone on William's desk rang. He picked it up, listened for a moment, then frowned. We'll be right there. What now? Lisa asked. Chief wants us in the conference room. Says we have a visitor from the government. 5 minutes later, they sat at a long table across from a slim man in a dark suit who introduced himself only as Agent Perry from the Earth Galactic Alliance office. I'll get straight to the point, Perry said, sliding a folder across the table. We have a resource that might help with your case. William opened the folder and found himself looking at a photo of a purple-skinned humanoid with large, almond-shaped eyes. This is Zaravex, Perry explained. She's a Noxian from the planet Centauria, about 20 light-years from Earth. And how exactly is an alien supposed to help us? Lisa asked, not bothering to hide her skepticism. Perry smiled thinly. Noxians evolved with olfactory abilities thousands of times more sensitive than humans. Zara can detect molecular traces weeks after they were left. She can smell the difference between identical twins. She can even detect emotional states through scent. William looked up from the file. You're saying she can smell who committed our thefts? I'm saying she might be able to detect evidence your human senses and technology missed, Perry replied. The Alliance has negotiated her services as part of our cultural exchange program. She's been helping solve cases on 3 other planets with remarkable success. Chief Martin, who had been quiet until now, cleared his throat. I've already approved this. You have 48 hours with the alien before the feds take over the case completely. William and Lisa exchanged a look. Neither of them wanted to lose their case to federal agents. When do we meet her? William asked. Now, said Perry, checking his watch. She should be arriving at your front entrance as we speak. They found Zaravex standing just inside the precinct doors, drawing stares from everyone in the lobby. She wore what looked like a modified diving helmet with glowing blue filters and tubes. Her body was covered in a sleek, silver-gray suit that seemed to shimmer slightly when she moved. Even through the helmet, William could see her iridescent. Purple skin and those striking eyes, larger than human eyes and a deep violet color. Detective Carter, Officer Franklin. Her voice came through a speaker on her helmet, surprisingly clear and perfect in English. I am Zaravex. I understand you have a case that requires my assistance. William stepped forward. That's right. Thank you for coming. We have an interview room set up where we can talk more comfortably. They led her through the precinct, past officers who stopped what they were doing to watch. In the interview room, Zara touched a panel on her wrist, and the air made a soft whooshing sound. The room's atmosphere has been adjusted, she said. I can remove my helmet now. The helmet separated with a soft hiss, and Zara lifted it off. William tried not to stare, but it was difficult. Up close, her skin had a subtle pattern, almost like fingerprints, but covering her entire visible body. Along her neck were delicate gill, like structures that fluttered gently when she breathed. Her nose was similar to a human's, but with wider nostrils that continuously expanded and contracted slightly. Your world smells fascinating, she said, taking a deep breath. So many layers, so much history in each molecule. She turned her violet eyes to the case file William had brought. And this case ... it has an unusual scent already. You can smell the case file? Lisa asked. I can smell the paper, the ink, your hands on it. The coffee spilled on page 3 last week, Zara replied. But I also sense your frustration, your determination. These emotions leave scent markers. William pushed the file toward her. 3. Thefts, all high-value items? No evidence left behind? Zara didn't open the file. Instead, she lifted it to her face and inhaled deeply, her gill structures fluttering rapidly. Interesting, there's something not quite right about the molecular composition on these pages. When can we visit the crime scenes? Right away, William said. But some of these thefts happened weeks ago. Will that be a problem? Zara smiled, revealing teeth that were just a little too white, a little too perfect. For humans, yes. For me, no. Time doesn't erase scent. It merely transforms it. I can read the history of a place through its smells, layer by layer, like the rings of a tree. As they left the precinct, William noticed Lisa's continuing skepticism. You don't believe in her abilities? He asked quietly while Zara put her helmet back on ahead of them. I believe in evidence I can see, Lisa replied, not alien magic tricks. The first crime scene was an art gallery downtown. A painting worth $2 million had vanished during a power outage that had disabled the security system for exactly 3 minutes. By the time the backup generators kicked in, the painting and its thief were gone. Zara removed her helmet after adjusting. The air again. She moved slowly around the gallery, sometimes stopping to press her face close to surfaces, other times just standing completely still with her eyes closed. She looks like she's making this up as she goes, Lisa whispered to William, finally. Zara approached the empty space where the painting had hung. She leaned in so close her nose almost touched the wall, then suddenly jerked back as if shocked. What is it? William asked. A thief, Zara said, her voice tinged with surprise. They left almost no trace, as if they were barely here at all. But there is something ... she inhaled again. Something not human was here. Not human? Lisa repeated. Like what, another alien? I'm not sure, Zara said. It's not a species I recognize. We should visit the other scenes. I need to confirm this scent signature. As they left the gallery, William noticed Zara looking up at the buildings, the sky, the people passing by with an expression of wonder mixed with caution. Is this your first time on Earth? He asked. Yes, she replied, her voice slightly distorted through the helmet. My people don't travel much. Anymore. Not since Earth started synthesizing the spice that was once our main export. Is that why you took this job? William asked. Economic reasons? Zara's large eyes fixed on him through the helmet's visor. I took this job because I'm the best at what I do, detective. And because my people need to prove we still have value in this galaxy, she paused. But yes, solving this case matters to more than just your city. It matters to my entire world. William nodded slowly, understanding, for the first time, that this case might be complicated in ways none of them had imagined. The second crime scene was a private home in the wealthy part of town. A rare diamond necklace had vanished from a locked safe during a dinner party. The owner had opened the safe to show off her jewelry to guests, then locked it again. When she returned an hour later, the necklace was gone, but the safe remained locked with no signs of tampering. Zara moved through the large house with the same strange methods she had used at the gallery. She licked walls, pressed her face against furniture, and sometimes just stood completely still with her eyes closed and her gill structures fluttering rapidly. Is all this really necessary? Lisa asked, watching Zara press her nose against the carpet and inhale deeply. My sense of smell works differently than yours, Zara explained without looking up. I'm building a scent map of this place layer by layer. The deeper I go, the more I can detect. William kept quiet, watching the alien work. Despite his initial skepticism, there was something fascinating about her methods. She moved with a precision that suggested she knew exactly what she was doing. When they reached the bedroom with the safe, Zara became very still. She approached the safe slowly, her large purple eyes narrowing. The same scent signature was here, she said finally. The same non-human presence. All witnesses reported seeing only humans at both crime scenes, William said, checking his notes. Then they saw what they were meant to see, Zara replied. She ran her fingers over the safe door. This was opened without tools or force. The lock mechanism was manipulated directly. That's impossible, Lisa said. This is a high-security model with anti-tampering measures. Zara turned to them, her expression serious. Not impossible for certain species with flexible physical forms. The third crime scene was an office building downtown. A prototype for a new technology had disappeared from a secured lab. Again, security cameras had shown nothing unusual, and the security system recorded no breaches. As they drove to the location, Lisa scrolled through information on her tablet. "I've been doing some research on Noxians," she said quietly to William while Zara looked out the window from the back seat. "Their planet has been struggling economically since Earth started synthesizing their main export 5 years ago. Over 60% of their population is now unemployed." "You think she has some other agenda here?" William asked. "I think we should be careful about trusting her completely," Lisa replied. "She needs this case to succeed more than we realize." At the office building, Zara became visibly agitated as soon as they entered the lab. She removed her helmet and moved quickly from one spot to another, her nostrils flaring and her gill structures pulsing rapidly. "The scent is stronger here," she said. "Much stronger." "And there's something wrong." "Wrong how?" William asked. "The molecular traces are more complex, layered." She closed her eyes, concentrating. "The thief spent more time here. Was searching for something specific." William watched her closely. "Can you tell us anything more about this non-human scent you're detecting?" Zara opened her eyes. "It's not in the Alliance database, but it has similarities to a species I've encountered before, a shapeshifter from the Andromeda Galaxy." "A shapeshifter?" Lisa repeated skeptically. "Like something that can change its appearance?" "Exactly like that," Zara said. "Morphlings can alter their physical structure to mimic other species. They were banned from Earth territory after past incidents of espionage." William and Lisa exchanged looks. "If you're right," William said, "we need to find this alien fast." Back at the precinct, they compiled everything they knew. Zara worked with them to create a list of possible locations where the thief might strike next, based on the pattern of the previous thefts. All 3 targets were high-value items kept in secure locations, William noted. Each theft occurred during a small window of opportunity when security was compromised. "The thief must have inside information," Lisa added, "or a way to hack into security systems." Zara nodded. "There's something else. At each scene, I detected traces of a specific chemical compound. It's used as a masking agent by certain species." "To hide their smell?" William asked. "Yes, but it's detectable to Noxians." Zara pointed to a map of the city they had spread out on the table. "If this is a morphling, it would need a private location to change forms and store the stolen items." They identified several possible hideouts and began cross-referencing them with city records. While they worked, William noticed Zara occasionally staring out the window at the city skyline. "Something bothering you?" he asked. "Your world is very different from mine," she said quietly. "So many people, so many smells, it's overwhelming sometimes." "Is that why you wear the helmet?" "Partly. Without filters, the scent overload would be painful." She turned to him. "But it's also because many humans find my appearance unsettling." "I don't," William said honestly. "I find it interesting." Zara's lips curved in a slight smile. "You're unusual for a human, Detective Carter." Their search narrowed to a luxury apartment building that housed several diplomats and wealthy residents. One name caught William's attention: Samuel Frost, a billionaire who had made his fortune in holographic technology. "His company has government contracts," Lisa noted, reading from her tablet, "including security systems for all 3 locations that were robbed." "We should check it out," William decided. They set up surveillance on the building that evening. Zara insisted she could identify the thief by scent even from a distance, so they parked across the street and watched people coming and going. After 3 hours of waiting, a maintenance worker exited the service entrance. He wore a gray uniform and carried a toolbox. Nothing about him seemed unusual, but Zara suddenly stiffened in the back seat. "That's our thief," she said, her voice urgent. "The scent is masked by chemicals, but it's there." "That's impossible," Lisa said, looking through binoculars. That's just Gary. He's worked here for years. I can see his ID badge from here. No, Zara insisted. Not human. The scent signature is the same as at all 3 crime scenes. William started the car. Let's follow him and see where he goes. They kept a safe distance as Gary walked several blocks, then got into an older model car. They followed him to the edge of the city, where abandoned warehouses stood in various states of decay. Why would a maintenance worker for a luxury building come to a place like this? Lisa wondered as they watched him enter one of the warehouses. Because he's not a maintenance worker, Zara said. And he's not human, William checked his gun. Let's find out what we're really dealing with. They approached the warehouse cautiously. Through a dirty window they saw a strange sight that made William's blood run cold. In the center of the empty space, the man they had followed stood perfectly still. Then, like a candle melting in reverse, his entire body began to shimmer and change. William, Lisa, and Zara watched in stunned silence as the man they knew as Gary transformed. His skin rippled like water, and his entire body stretched and reformed. Where the maintenance worker had stood moments before, there was now a creature unlike anything the human detectives had ever seen. It had a gelatinous, semi-transparent body with multiple limbs that seemed to shift and change even as they watched. Its face had no definite features except for 3 large, dark eyes arranged in a triangle. Morphling, Zara whispered. Just as I suspected. What do we do now? Lisa asked, her hand on her gun. We need to apprehend it, William said, and find out what it's done with the stolen items. They moved to the warehouse entrance. William took the lead, with Lisa covering him and Zara close behind. They slipped inside quietly, but the morphling sensed their presence immediately. Its body shifted again, forming more limbs as it backed away from them. Police, don't move! William shouted, pointing his gun at the creature. The morphling made a strange sound, like bubbles rising through thick liquid. Then it raised what appeared to be an arm, revealing a small device clutched in its grip. Look out! Zara yelled, pushing both humans aside as the morphling activated the device. A pulse of energy swept through the warehouse. William's gun suddenly felt heavy and dead in his hand. Lisa tried to use her radio, but it didn't work either. Tech dampener, Zara explained quickly. It's disabled all your electronic devices? The morphling moved with surprising speed toward a side door. William ran to intercept it, but the creature simply flowed around him like water around a rock. Lisa tried to tackle it, but her hands passed through its semi-solid form and she fell to the floor. It's getting away! William shouted, but Zara was already moving. Unlike the humans, she didn't try to grab the morphling. Instead, she closed her eyes briefly, her gill structures fluttering rapidly, then opened them again with a look of determination. I can track it by scent, she said, even in the dark. The warehouse lights suddenly went out, plunging them into near-total darkness. William could hear the morphling moving, its body making a soft, slithering sound against the concrete floor. William! There's a door to your right, Zara called out. It's heading that way. William moved in the direction of her voice, feeling his way along the wall until he found the door. He could hear the morphling just ahead of him. Lisa, I need a distraction. He called out. Lisa, who had gotten to her feet, pulled out her flashlight. Though the tech dampener had disabled most electronics, the simple battery-powered light still worked. She switched it on and tossed it across the room. The morphling turned toward the sudden light, momentarily confused. In that instant, Zara sprinted forward. William, the cleaning supplies by the wall, the blue bottle. William spotted a shelf of maintenance supplies. He grabbed a blue bottle of industrial cleaner and tossed it to Zara. She caught it and quickly unscrewed the cap. Morphlings are sensitive to certain chemical compounds, she explained rapidly. This contains one of them. As the morphling recovered and moved toward them again, Zara threw the contents of the bottle directly at it. The liquid hit the creature's gelatinous body, and immediately it began to stiffen and slow. It made that bubbling sound again, but louder now, almost like a scream. Now! Zara shouted. William and Lisa rushed forward. The morphling couldn't maintain its fluid form, parts of its body hardening into a crystal-like substance where the cleaner had touched it. they were able to restrain it using their handcuffs, though the creature's strange anatomy made it difficult. "It won't hold for long," Zara warned. "The effect is temporary." With the morphling partially immobilized, they searched the warehouse. Behind some old crates, they found the stolen items, the painting, the diamond necklace, and the technology prototype. But they also found something unexpected, a collection of small vials containing what looked like blood or tissue samples. "What is this?" Lisa asked, carefully examining one of the vials. It was labeled with a name and a series of numbers. Zara looked concerned. "Those appear to be DNA samples." William checked the names on the vials. "These people all work at high-security government facilities. They all have clearance to access defense systems." The thefts weren't the real target, Zara realized. They were just a cover for gathering these samples. "But why would a morphling need human DNA?" Lisa asked. "For perfect imitation," Zara explained. "Morphlings can take on almost any form visually, but advanced security systems use DNA scanning. With these samples, it could bypass even the most secure facilities on your planet." The morphling made another bubbling sound, softer now, almost like speech. "Is it trying to communicate?" William asked. "I think so," Zara said. She moved closer to the creature, her head tilted as if listening carefully. "My people can sometimes understand basic morphling communication through scent patterns." She stood near the creature for a long moment, her gill structures fluttering rapidly as she processed whatever sense it was releasing. Finally, she turned back to the human detectives with a troubled expression. "It says it was following orders," she translated, "from someone here on Earth." Before they could question the morphling further, the warehouse door burst open. Several people in black tactical gear rushed in, weapons drawn. "Federal agents!" one of them shouted. "Everyone down on the ground now." William and Lisa reluctantly lowered their weapons and raised their hands. Zara did the same, though she seemed confused by the human protocol. A man in a suit walked in after the tactical team. William recognized him as Agent Perry, the same government liaison who had introduced them to Zara. "Good work, detectives," Perry said, though his smile didn't reach his eyes. "We'll take it from here. This is our case," William protested. "We caught the thief. This is now a matter of national security," Perry replied coolly. "The creature you've apprehended is an illegal alien presence on Earth. Its capture and interrogation fall under federal jurisdiction." Two agents carefully secured the morphling in what looked like a specialized containment unit. Others collected the stolen items and the vials of DNA samples. "What about the person who was controlling it?" Lisa asked. "The morphling said it was working for someone." Perry's expression hardened. "That information is classified. Your involvement in this case is now complete. You'll be debriefed tomorrow at your precinct." He turned to Zara. "Ms. Vex, your services as part of the exchange program have been invaluable. A transport will take you back to the embassy tonight. Arrangements will be made for your return to Centauria." As the federal agents took control of the scene, William, Lisa, and Zara were escorted outside. They watched as the morphling was loaded into a secure transport vehicle. "Something isn't right," Zara said quietly once they were alone. The morphling's scent had traces of human manipulation. "Someone on Earth has been controlling it for some time, and now the feds are shutting us out," William said with frustration. "I'm not going back to the embassy tonight," Zara decided, her large eyes reflecting determination. "This case isn't over." Lisa looked at her with new respect. "What do you suggest we do?" "Follow the scent," Zara replied. "It always leads to the truth." William drove his car with Lisa in the passenger seat and Zara in the back. They had decided to continue investigating unofficially, despite orders to stand down. Night had fallen over the city, and the streets were mostly empty. "We need to find out where they're taking the morphling," William said, keeping his eyes on the road. Lisa checked her phone. "I've contacted a friend at the Federal Transport Division. He says no alien prisoner was logged into any official facility tonight, so they're taking it somewhere off the books," William said with a frown. Zara leaned forward from the back seat. I managed to capture a sample of the morphling's unique scent before they took it away. She held up a small silver device that looked like a compact mirror. This is a scent collector. We use them on my world for medical diagnosis. Can you track the morphling with that? William asked. Not over long distances, Zara admitted. But I might be able to detect traces of the federal agents who took it. Agent Perry had a distinctive cologne. William nodded. It's worth a try. Where should we start? The connection between the stolen DNA samples and Samuel Frost bothers me, Lisa said. His company has contracts with every facility those DNA donors work at, and his technology specializes in holograms and visual deception, William added, which would be very useful if you were working with shapeshifters. They decided to investigate Frost's company headquarters first. The main building was a gleaming tower of glass and steel in the downtown business district. At this late hour, it was mostly dark except for security lights. How do we get in? Lisa wondered as they parked a block away. I can help with that, Zara said. She reached into a hidden pocket in her suit and pulled out a small device. This disrupts most Earth security systems without triggering alarms. It's standard equipment for diplomatic protection on your world. William raised an eyebrow. Is that legal? Technically, yes, Zara replied. The Alliance Treaty allows diplomatic personnel to carry certain tools for self-defense and emergency access. They approached the building carefully. Zara's device worked as promised, allowing them to enter through a service door without setting off any alarms. Inside, they moved quietly through darkened hallways, following Zara's keen sense of smell. Agent Perry has been here recently, she whispered. Within the last day or two. They found their way to Frost's private office on the top floor. The door was locked with a biometric scanner, but Zara's device bypassed it easily. Inside, they found a luxurious office with a stunning view of the city skyline. Lisa went straight to the computer on the desk while William searched through papers and files. Zara moved around the room, her nostrils flaring as she processed the various scents. There's something strange about this room, she said after a few minutes. The scent patterns don't match the visual space. What do you mean? William asked. I smell a door, but I don't see one, Zara explained, moving toward what appeared to be a solid wall. She pressed her hand against it, and to the human's surprise, her hand passed through as if the wall wasn't there. A hologram. William realized they followed Zara through the false wall and found themselves in a hidden room filled with advanced technology. Screens displayed data about various government facilities. One wall was covered with photos of people, including the names on the DNA vials they had found at the warehouse. Look at this, Lisa said, pointing to a map on one of the screens. It showed the location of a private estate outside the city. That's Frost's country home, William said, recognizing the address. What's happening there? Another screen showed a countdown timer. 18 hours, 43 minutes, and 27 seconds and counting down. Less than 19 hours until something happens, Lisa noted. Zara was examining another screen that displayed what looked like genetic code. This is morphling DNA, she said with concern. But it's been modified somehow. Before they could investigate further, they heard the office door open. They froze, listening to footsteps enter the main office. Hide, William whispered. They ducked behind some equipment just as someone came through the holographic wall. It was a security guard making his rounds. He looked around briefly, then left, apparently seeing nothing unusual. That was close. Lisa breathed once he was gone. They continued searching the hidden room and found files detailing a project called Mirror Image. According to the documents, Frost had been working with certain government officials who feared alien integration. They had captured morphlings illegally entering Earth space and were experimenting on them. They're implanting control devices in the morphlings, Zara said, reading one of the files, forcing them to follow orders. But why? William wondered. What's the goal? Lisa found another document. It says here they plan to use controlled morphlings to infiltrate alien embassies and gather intelligence. But they needed the DNA samples to bypass the new security protocols. As they were about to leave, William's phone rang. He checked the caller ID and frowned. "It's my sister Olivia," he said, answering it. "Hello?" The voice on the other end wasn't his sister. It was a computerized voice. "Detective Carter. We have your sister. Stop investigating Samuel Frost or she dies. You have 1 hour to return to your precinct and close the case." The call ended. William stood frozen, his face pale. "They have Olivia," he said, his voice tight with fear and anger. "Can you track her phone?" Lisa asked. William tried, but the signal was blocked. No luck. "I might be able to help," Zara said. "Do you have anything with your sister's scent on it? A gift she gave you, perhaps?" William thought for a moment, then pulled out his wallet. Inside was a small photo of him and Olivia. "She gave me this last Christmas. She handled it a lot before giving it to me." Zara took the photo carefully and held it to her nose, inhaling deeply. Her gill structures fluttered rapidly as she processed the scent. "Family members have similar base scent patterns," she explained. "I can use yours as a reference to enhance my ability to detect hers." They hurried back to the car, William driving faster than was strictly legal. Against protocol, he called Chief Martin to report what had happened. "Carter, what part of stand down don't you understand?" the chief demanded. "The feds have taken over. It's out of our hands." "They've kidnapped my sister," William said desperately. There was a pause on the other end. "Who has? Someone working with Samuel Frost? They're using alien shapeshifters? For some kind of infiltration scheme?" "Carter, listen to me," the chief said, his voice suddenly lower. "I've been ordered by people way above my pay grade to shut this case down completely. Whatever you stumbled into, it goes high up." "So you won't help?" William asked, his heart sinking. The chief sighed heavily. "I didn't say that. Give me an hour. Don't do anything stupid in the meantime. And Carter, be careful who you trust." The call ended. William gripped the steering wheel tightly. "Your government fears exposure more than they fear these crimes," Zara said from the back seat. "But on my world, we have a saying, the truth has the strongest scent of all." Lisa put a hand on William's arm. "We'll find her. Where do we start?" "Frost's private estate," William decided, turning the car toward the highway. "That's where the countdown is leading to. Whatever they're planning, it's happening there." Samuel Frost's private estate was an enormous property surrounded by high walls and security cameras. A long driveway led to a modern mansion that gleamed white in the moonlight. As William, Lisa, and Zara approached in the car, they could see the place was busy with activity despite the late hour. Cars lined the circular driveway, and people in formal attire were entering the main house. "Looks like some kind of event," Lisa observed as they parked on a side road a short distance away. "Perfect cover for whatever they're planning," William said grimly. He checked his gun and phone. "We need to find Olivia first." Zara had removed her helmet, her gill structures fluttering as she processed the scents on the night air. "I can detect your sister's scent. It's faint but present. She's somewhere on the property." They decided their best approach was to blend in with the guests. Lisa had a formal jacket in her car that she put on over her clothes. William straightened his tie and brushed off his suit. But Zara was a problem. Her purple skin and alien features would immediately stand out. "I have an idea," she said. From a compartment in her suit, she removed a small device. "This is a personal holographic projector. We use them for diplomatic functions on worlds where our appearance might cause discomfort." She activated the device and instantly her appearance changed. Her purple skin took on a human tone, her large eyes shrank to human size, and her gill structures disappeared. She now looked like an attractive human woman in an elegant silver dress. "The hologram only affects visual appearance," she explained. "My sense of smell and other abilities remain unchanged." They approached the main entrance, where a security guard was checking invitations. Lisa quickly assessed the situation and approached confidently. "Good evening. We're with the Interstellar Relations Committee. I believe Mr. Frost is expecting us." She flashed her police badge quickly, not giving the guard time to examine it closely. The guard hesitated, then checked a tablet. "I don't see your names on the list." "That's strange," William said smoothly. "We received a personal invitation From Mr. Frost regarding the demonstration tonight? Perhaps you could check with him? I'd hate for there to be a diplomatic incident. The mention of a potential incident made the guard nervous. He waved them through. Go ahead, but stay in the main areas. Inside, the mansion was filled with well-dressed people holding drinks and making small talk. Waiters circulated with trays of food and champagne. On a small stage at one end of the main room, preparations were being made for some kind of presentation. We need to split up, William said quietly. Lisa, try to find out what this event is about. Zara and I will look for Olivia. Lisa nodded and moved off into the crowd while William and Zara began a careful search of the house, trying to appear as if they belonged. Her scent is stronger this way, Zara murmured, guiding William toward a hallway that led deeper into the mansion. They passed several security guards but managed to avoid attention by pretending to be looking for a bathroom. Finally, they reached a door with a keypad lock. Zara used her device to bypass it and they slipped inside. They found themselves in a laboratory filled with advanced equipment. In the center was a row of glass containment units. Most were empty, but two contained morphlings in their natural form, lying motionless with various tubes and wires connected to their gelatinous bodies. They're being modified, Zara said with horror, examining the nearest unit, implanted with control devices. At the far end of the lab, they found Olivia. She was tied to a chair, looking frightened but unharmed. When she saw William, her eyes widened. Will, thank God! They grabbed me outside my apartment. They said they'd kill me if you didn't stop investigating. William quickly untied her. You hurt? No, just scared. They left me alone most of the time. Something big is happening tonight. Just then, they heard applause from the main room, followed by Samuel Frost's voice over speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, thank you for joining us for this historic demonstration. Tonight, Frost Technologies will unveil a breakthrough that will change how humanity views its place in the galaxy. Zara's holographic disguise flickered momentarily as she concentrated. There are more morphlings here. Many more. I can smell them among the guests. We need to stop whatever Frost is planning, William said. Olivia, stay here where it's safe. No way, his sister replied firmly. I'm coming with you. They hurried back toward the main room, where Frost was continuing his speech. For too long, Earth has been vulnerable to infiltration by alien species who can disguise themselves as human. Some are already among us, working in our governments, our military, our research facilities. On a large screen behind him, images appeared of various alien species, including morphlings. The crowd murmured with concern. Tonight I will demonstrate technology that will expose these infiltrators and protect Earth's sovereignty. Frost pressed a button, and a device rose from the stage floor. It looked like a satellite dish combined with a laser. This scanner can detect non-human cellular structures even through the most perfect disguises, Zara gasped. If he activates that, all the morphlings will be exposed. But they have control implants. He's going to... Before she could finish, Frost continued. To demonstrate, I've invited several alien diplomats tonight. He smiled coldly, or rather what you think are diplomats. He activated the device. A beam of blue light swept across the room. Immediately, 5 people in the crowd began to change. Their human appearances melted away, revealing morphlings. The crowd screamed and backed away. Don't be alarmed, Frost said calmly. These creatures are under my complete control. He pressed another button on a remote. The morphlings straightened up, moving in perfect unison like soldiers. Imagine a force of perfect infiltrators capable of accessing any facility, completely under human control. With this technology, Earth will never again need to fear alien influence. William, Lisa, and Zara exchanged horrified glances. This wasn't just about spying. Frost was planning to use the controlled morphlings as weapons. We have to stop the control signal, Zara whispered. If I can disrupt it, the morphlings might be able to break free. William nodded. Lisa, create a distraction. Zara, can you reach the control panel? Lisa didn't hesitate. She pulled the fire alarm. As water sprinklers activated and guests began to panic, Zara moved quickly toward the stage. The holographic disguise hiding her alien features flickered and failed in the water, revealing her true appearance. Frost spotted her and pointed. "Stop her! She's one of them!" Security guards moved to intercept Zara, but William blocked their path. In the confusion, Zara reached the control panel and pressed her hands against it. Her gill structures fluttered rapidly as she concentrated. "What is she doing?" Olivia asked, watching in amazement. "Noxians can emit certain pheromones," Lisa explained quickly. "She's trying to override the control signals with her own biochemical commands." For a moment, nothing happened. Then the morphlings on stage shuddered and broke from their rigid stance. Frost shouted commands into his remote, but the creatures no longer responded. "No!" Frost screamed. "This is impossible!" Just then, the doors burst open and Chief Martin entered, followed by several police officers and government agents, but not Perry's team. These were different agents, led by a stern-looking woman. "Samuel Frost," the woman announced, "you're under arrest for illegal experimentation on sentient beings, conspiracy against allied species, and attempted subversion of the Earth Galactic Alliance Treaty." As Frost was taken into custody, the chief approached William, Lisa, and Zara. "Agent Perry and his team have also been detained," he explained. "They were part of Frost's conspiracy. I contacted Alliance authorities when you told me what was happening. The morphlings, now free from control, were being treated by medical personnel." One of them approached Zara and made a series of gentle bubbling sounds. "They're thanking us," Zara translated. "They were kidnapped while traveling near Earth space. Frost was planning to use them to create panic about alien infiltration, then offer his control technology as the solution." In the days that followed, the full extent of Frost's conspiracy was revealed. Several government officials were implicated and arrested. The morphlings were given proper medical care and diplomatic protection for their journey home. William, Lisa, and Zara were commended for their work. Though political debates continued about Earth's relationship with alien species, on her last day on Earth, Zara met William and Lisa at the precinct. "I've been offered a permanent position as a liaison between Earth law enforcement and alien visitors," she told them. "It seems my nose for trouble is valued here," William smiled. "You know, I've learned something important from all this. Sometimes you need an outside perspective to see what's right under your nose." "And I've learned something about humans," Zara replied, her gill structures fluttering gently. "You smell of determination and honor when it matters most." Lisa raised her coffee mug to smelling out the truth no matter how complicated it gets.